mean, that's how you should trade. Okay, makes sense. Perfect. What broker do you use for Lano? I use Interactive Broker, and DAS is my platform. Commissions are super cheap. That's why I trade with them. Hey guys, I'm a novice trader. I just started the masterclass.
Wait.
Sorry.
FSLY is trying to SL3. Fulano, do you want to share the chart?
Sure.
Well, if you take it here, it's going to be a 60, 70 cents stop if you take it short here. But I'm not going to take it because I'm done for the day and I don't want to risk it. And actually, the entry was 1915, 1910.
Okay. Yeah, so we got our 4 15-minute green bars here. Yeah, I would think that this is probably the entry right here. So you've got your high, your lower high, right? If the trade were to work, that's
now that's retesting that level. If you see it dropping back down with volume, with a big red candle, you could enter short, because it's going to be like a lower high or a double top if it doesn't break the highs. So just anticipate it, wait for it.
This is actually a really good example here of what we've been talking about already, okay? So I'm going to go through this because look at FSLY right here. This volume is what I like to call climactic volume, okay? You see how this volume bar right here trumps all the other volume bars? This is climactic volume. That means big players are stepping into or in front of this trade at this point. Don't just go long on this climactic volume, but expect a reversal, okay? So once we get the reversal, let's say we get leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, right? So we sort of up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up. This is why we don't play breakouts at or after leg 3, because you run into these issues, right? It also lines up with our SL3. We've got our 4 15-minute green bars. And something to note also, this is the volume on the breakouts, which is what we want to see. These candles right here are supposed to be high volume candles if we're going into the next leg of a breakout. High volume candles like what we saw here. This setup right here, this price action is similar to this, correct? Look at how the volume responds as soon as we start curling up large volume candles. What happens when we start curling up here? Small volume candles relative to larger price action candles. I'm not saying this can't break the highs. We're just playing the numbers, right? We trade probabilities. So the probability of this thing breaking these lows and coming down is greater than breaking these highs at this point. If we start seeing increasing volume on these candles, then we might be wrong. That's how I see the trade anyways.
All right. By the way, if we get below 99, I will get in. So let's try and make a live trade now. But if it breaks now, the high of day, I will not look for an over. It went. Okay, I got a feel at 98, 95.
Share your screen, man. You can't do this with a screen share.
All right, 5,000, 98, 95. My stop will be over 99.60. So as I said, this is the first lower high. It broke. When it came back, to retest this level. I said if we see another red candle, I will take it short below the round number, 99. And your stop is here, 99.60.
I want to know how many people scrambled and pulled the trigger short on FSLY to trade live with Stelios.
I'm going to take a partial at 0.76. Oh, it came 3 cents. Came down to 98.79 and it didn't get me out. All right, I'm going to take just 2,000 shares. I will leave 3,000 for the VWAP touch. But let's see, as long as it doesn't break this low here, as long as it doesn't break this low here, it could easily reverse and take the day's high. So, and take this swing high. So let's wait and see. It's about to take my partial. 2 cents, no.
Another thing to note though, like Stelios has a limit order out there to take a partial at 98.76, and he's not scrambling when it doesn't get there.
Yeah, also if I see it reversing back up, I will have to cancel this order and prepare my stop order, because if I just enter a stop order while I have a target order in, it will not get accepted. So it just saves me time.
That 15-cent spread isn't helping you for your partial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I cannot take less. I mean, even 20 cents is not much for a $100 stock. Sorry, for $100 stock. So it's going to be at least 20 cents in this one. But actually, SPY is breaking out, so we forgot to mention that. So SPY is not helping. It just spiked. Look at SPY. Let's see if FSLY follows this SPY spike. If it doesn't, then it's a good sign that it wants to reverse.
SPY actually struggling to hold this breakout.
Yeah. As a ladies, this guy is eating popcorn and watching me trade live.
It better be smart food.
You know, you can always move down, lower your stop at the previous high here, 99.41.
Guys, look at the SPY. So see the SPY broke out there on this 1 minute candle, the 1206 1 minute candle on volume, but look at what the candle looks like, right? It's a shooting star or inverted hammer or whatever you want to call it. That's a sign of a false breakout. Breakout on volume, closes weak, price action, candle does not match the volume candle, that's a sign. And I'm not saying this is the reversal for the day. It's just a sign that we didn't want to break out right here, right now, which feels better for your FSLY trade for sure. Do you mind if I go over a question or two while you're in this trade? And if you interrupt me, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I've got from Stelios. Hey guys, I'm a novice trader, just started the masterclass. I've watched all the strategy videos, so trying to absorb everything. Questions. As there are quite a few stocks that are flagged up at the open each day, I find it difficult to watch more than 2 or 3 and enter at the right time. Maybe only having one screen doesn't help. Okay, so number one, definitely need more than one screen in my opinion. 2 works, 3 is the best. These are my opinions. 3 works the best. Unless you have a 46-inch widescreen like Stelios, then you need 1. Maybe only having one screen doesn't help. Anyways, how would you advise to proceed in terms of which strategy to choose as a beginner and how many stocks to focus on? Would you recommend one particular strategy that most beginners? Yeah, okay. So for me, beginner strategies, go with like SL3, SL15, and then you could go to SL8. That gets a little more intermediate. SL1 works as well. So those 4 strategies: SL1, SL8, SL15, SL3. You want to try and line your strategies up as a beginner. So at this time of day, all I'm looking for is this strategy, right? So that's why I like SL15, SL3. You know, at 10 o'clock, 10:30, you're looking for SL15. And then after that, you're more concentrated on SL3. You can just watch 2 to 3 stocks also. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I took UAL short, SL3 30 minutes ago. It didn't work. Was it daily a bad setup? I remember UAL's daily. It was trying to break down. The thing is all the travel stocks right now are in like a choppy sort of range. They pulled back a little bit, and we're at the point we don't know if they're going to bounce or go lower. I just try and stay away from those things for now. Specifically for the FSLY trade, at what points did you decide to take partials? How do you decide where to take a partial in general? What percentage of shares are you partially? So I think Stelios talked about that. If he has a core position of 10,000 shares and 20,000 shares total, he's looking to take 2 partials of 5,000 shares and hold on to his 10,000 share core. As far as where to partial, if you first get into the trade, partial on the first momentum push or into levels, right? Low of day, high of day, etc.
All right, guys. So see now that it's trying to break out, I canceled my partial order because I want to have ready my total size to exit. So stock will be over 99.50, 99.55. And I'm just mentioning that if I get a loser on this one, I will never trade live in front of you again. They're bad luck.
Question for Stelios. On Wednesday, you shorted SHLL at the open. Was it an SL6, but SHLL gapped up more than 5%? Yeah, I remember this one. Overall, SHLL daily chart was just weak, and this was, I don't know if you want to call it a dead cat bounce, but it was just like a sort of a pullback bounce for what we anticipated to be the next leg down.
All right, you know what? I will just enter a range order. VWAP is at 97.76. I will enter an order 10 cents higher. Oh. All right, so I have a range order. I will stop out at 99.56, and my target is 97.91. So let's see what happens.
Oliver says, for the SL15, at what time would you change time frame to the 30-minute or the 1-hour chart? The 15-minute chart should be used from 10 a.m. to, this is like a subjective sort of thing. I would say use the 15-minute chart from 10 a.m. to 11, but be looking at the 30-minute chart right at 10:30 also. So you could get 15-minute inside bars up to 11 o'clock. After that, I would really go to the 30-minute, but you still have to be looking at the 30-minute at 10:30. And then the 1 hour, probably around, you would have to start looking at it at 11:30 for the rest of the day. SL6 still risky to me whenever I see a daily chart reach before, then I'd short the first minute range, taking it as weakness. Target 20 cents, stop high of day. Many trades I've seen not waiting the U shape or not making the U shape maybe. Can we go roughly? Yeah, I would say that SL6, I don't know, is a little bit hazy if that's what you want to call it. It's just a fast trade, right? The problem is a lot of people hold the SL6 too long. It's a scalp trade. Like you get in, you make 1R, 1.5 R, sometimes 3R. Like it's that first momentum push. You need to have the bulk of your position out. You can hold some of it if you want to hold 25%, stop at break even and see if it keeps going all day like Roku today, great. But you need to pay yourself right away on those SL6 trades. How is your risk smaller? Isn't it 1R regardless of the stop distance? Yeah, if you trade based on risk units, your risk is going to be 1R. Maybe sometimes people decide to take a half R starting position, for example. Stelios, what's it? 99.56. Come on, go down, FSOY. Andrew says, got it. Do you just partial at a certain sense distance or based on the feel of the momentum? Any other ideas? For me personally, I partial into levels. High of day, low of day, VWAP, support and resistance levels, daily levels that I have drawn on my chart. That's how stocks move. There's ranges on the chart. We draw ranges for a reason. Stocks move up and down like bouncy balls between the ranges until they break through a range and move into another range. It's simple. Even looking at Stelios' FSOY chart that's up right here, from 1145 till now, it's made a range of, well, you can see from the high to this consolidation low. Prior to that, from 10 after 11 to 1145, it was in another range. And you notice the current range it's in right now, the low of that range is the high of the previous range. So FSLY just moved like this in the range from 1110 to 1145. And then when it broke out of the range, it just used the high of the previous range as support now. This is how stocks move all the time. I thought DAS is not available for US residents. DAS is definitely available for US residents. It's available for anyone in the world. Question for Stelios, question mark. Ferlano, how long have you been in the game? I started trading, I think it was January of 2017. And it was a catastrophic first year. It sucked really bad, but I mean, that's how it is.
And then you found me and I saved you.
Hey! Honestly, pretty much. The way my trading journey went was I started trading January of 2017. I lost, I don't know, $30,000 really fast. spent about $8,000 on education, studied that for a long time, and then I bought the masterclass, and yeah, that was a pretty good turning point, I would say. It just simplified everything that I had already known. There's a lot of things I learned from other courses too that helped, but the masterclass was for sure the pivotal moment. Yeah, you guys got to remember, Stelios has been trading for like 15 years now, I think. Don't try and make $40,000 a day on your second year. Just gonna hurt yourself. The way I'm working is I have $100 risk. Every time I move my account up to $200 risk per trade, that's when I can feel I start getting uncomfortable. Okay, so then I withdraw funds back down to $100 risk. I risk 0.5%, so I trade roughly a $20,000 to $25,000 account plus my margin. The next time that I grow it, I'm gonna try and accept that $200 risk. I've been there a few times now. I need to get to the point where I can accept a $200 risk and then move to 400, withdraw back down to 200 until you get comfortable. I remember the time when Stelios was making a few $100s a day, and I had a conversation with him. I'm like, dude, size up, man. What's wrong with you? You're a legend, blah, blah, blah. It's easier said than done. And I remember when he did it, and he said he was nervous. You're out of your comfort zone at that point. And now 2 years later, it's history.
You know, SPY now is dropping. FSLY is going higher. That's not a good sign. But here is the drop. We got a huge drop on SPY. That's why FSLY is dropping. All right, now we got gain now. All right. Stay down. Actually, now is a good place to enter if you didn't take the first entry, just because of SPY.
Stelios is turning this into a family trade now. This is awesome. Andrew says, does your order, I'm assuming he means your size, tend to change from 2,000 shares? It's all going to be what's the risk on the trade? What's the price of the stock? It's going to determine your size, right? I'm sure Stelios isn't trading 20,000 shares of Tesla with $15 risk, right? Does it make sense?
And guys, I never start a position with 10K or 20K. I always start smaller and I work my way to build a position when I expect a bigger move. Now I could have added on FSLY on that 99 break again, but I didn't. I chickened out. Yeah, I have a 20K day, man. Why risk anything?
I don't know. You took the trade. You tell me.
I took the trade because I wanted to do something live for the students.
Because the people want you to.
It's a solid setup, though. I didn't take just anything.
Sure.
It's
good. I hope it works. It looks good. Okay, David says, which platform / broker is the best for paper trading? Either free or paid subscription. It doesn't matter besides TradeNet, which they don't offer in US. I would say DAS is the best for paper trading. The thing is you're going to pay $165 a month. You're going to pay the regular subscription, even for a paper account. It looks good now, Stelios. It looks really good. Possibly a pop, another lower high, but straight to view up would be nice.
Yeah. No.
Why are you exiting? Sorry.
Just move. my target a bit in case it doesn't break 98.
That's a good idea. So guys, whole and half dollars are psychological numbers in people's heads. I bet you Stelios, if Stelios were to scroll down on the bid on his level 2 there, if he could see 98, he would see larger orders relative to any other price. They just tend to act like magnets. Why are you exiting with a limit order versus a market order?
To save on commissions.
And that's the target, really. Yeah, with a lot of brokers, you add liquidity to the market with a limit order, you get rebates or a cheaper commission. For example, with Interactive Broker, if I hit limit orders on the EdgeX route, I get a commission reduction or a rebate.
It's looking good.
It's so funny. I'm in the chat at 12:12 p.m. right now, and it's when FSLY started going up, and everybody's just like, no, no. I think that's when you said that you're not trading live anymore if this doesn't work. Do you recommend range orders? The way I use range orders, for me personally, if I get a partial and I feel like the trade is working well, I'll set some range orders so I can watch another stock. Or if you've extracted what you need out of the market for a day, but you have a small position left on, you can set a range order with like a break-even stop and a target and come back before the market closes to see what happened. How much capital would you recommend starting with, and what percent would you use from it? This is a different question. For me, the more the better. I risk 0.5% per trade, 0.5% of my account per trade. If you're going to trade with an equities broker, I'd recommend minimum 5,000 and try and get 4 to 1. CMEG offers 6 to 1. If you're trading with TradeNet, you can get any of the accounts and you'll have sufficient buying power. If you're trading with Colmex, you'll probably get more leverage than an equities broker. I think 10 to 1 up to 20 to 1 if you're a legend. Would you consider adding this pop Stelios on FSOY?
Yeah, maybe if it touches 99.
It would be easier to add this pop if you weren't done your day.
Mm-hmm. Also, SPY is popping up.
Mm-hmm. Do you exit trades based on time rather than price? For example, if a trade was entered and it's just grinding but not moving enough, I've done that before. I've exited trades early if it's just grinding around, or sometimes I just accept the fact that this is what I wanted to risk on the trade. This is what my target is. It's going to break either way, right? I think you guys got to go. Okay, see ya. FSOY needs to break 99.16. Oh, we're way below that now. Carlos, this is a live trade. He entered on an SL3. So if you look at the 15-minute chart on FSLY, you'll see the SL3. Yeah, home. You remember when he was making 1,000 a day? Yeah, I remember following him on Instagram when he was. There was one post I remember. It was like plus $283. Great way to start a Monday. I was just like, look at him now, eh? Like $40,000 could have done better, but yeah, it's amazing. It's inspirational to see like where he's come from, right? And I signed up for the masterclass as his first student when he was making like $200 a day. The reason for that was I saw all these guys like turn 500 into 1 million in 1 month, and I was like, nah, I don't buy it. I want to go with the guy who can consistently make $100, $200 a day, and I'm glad I did, and I could like see him grow. Right? It's amazing. So would you say it is too late now to take the SL15 on the 15-minute chart? Oh, you're talking about FSLY, SL15? Let me see. I don't know if it's forming an SL15. That's
Yeah,
probably...
yeah. Yeah,
Oh, so it already
it
cracked.
wasn't an SL15, it was an inside bar. Yeah, you could have taken it. Actually, if I saw this, I would be adding here. Oh, man, I hate test charting.
Yeah. Yeah, Hutch, good eye on that 50-minute inside bar. Cool. Stelios, do you watch 5-minute SPY or 1-minute SPY? It looks like he watches 1-minute SPY.
Usually I'm watching 5 minutes. I switched when you said look at the hammer on the 1 minute.
Okay, so usually he's watching 5. Do you watch 5 right off the open, Stelios?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, as you can see, like, I mean, this is what trading is. I mean, look at Stelios right now, like on the camera. Is he in like full panic mode, clicking buttons, going crazy? Like, find the setup, get into the trade, execute the trade, follow the plan, and that's just how it goes, right? Outside of that, have a sip of your coffee, hang out. We just trade probabilities. We can never win them all, but we're definitely not going to lose them all either. I'm surprised you didn't get a pro. Oh yeah, you went in front of 98, right? 98.08 or something.
My order is 98.04.
04, okay. So now everyone who's in this trade, go 98.05 and front run Stelios.
Right. I will go 98.07.
Soon you guys are going to be getting out at 98.30.
Boom.
What's the website for DAS? DashTrader.com. Oh no. So Stelios, on this pop right here, it just didn't get high enough for you to add? Was that the idea?
Yeah,
like
I was expecting at least 98.90 to add. Right? You know, I want to add as close to my entry as possible so I don't lower my average.
Yep.
No, it doesn't make sense to lower your average.
Yeah. Yeah, that's called diluting your position. Ooh, so a lot of people add super low. A lot of people add super low and they dilute their position, right? To the point where their average is so low if they're short that their technical stop needs to be way above their average. And when they stop out and lose more than 1R because they've diluted their position so much.
All right, well, what we can do now is move our stop here. So we lock in, at least we don't let it turn into a loser. So I will move my stop at 90.91. Sorry, 98.91. But let's wait if we get a drop now before I cancel the order.
So guys, why did Stelios move his stop? We have a new one. We've broken the previous 1 minute pivot low now, right? So now we should continue down and should not, if we're going to make a bounce here.
1 cent. Come on.
It should be a lower high. So you lied. I thought you moved moved it up to 07.
Yeah, I did, and it came down to 08.
Oh my gosh. Does your broker allow shorting new momentum stocks like INO? Interactive Broker does, and yeah, Stelios has traded them. So TradeNet definitely does.
Seriously, man, it came down to 1 cent, and now it's reversing. Everybody front runner me. Front runner me.
They did.
Yeah, it's your fault. You gave them the idea.
Oh man.
Come on, man. It's finding support on 98.08.
I sent a massive tweet out to all the big hedge funds
I'm out.
to get in front of you.
amount, and it gave me 3 cents slippage that each.
Wow.
All right, we have our target. You just saw $4,500 trade live. Thank you very much. We stop sharing.
Thank you very much. I love that. It's like the outro.
Now everybody will be asking, 2 more lives.
100%. 100%. Andrew says, thanks, guys. Watching a live trading session was invaluable. Would vote for scheduling an hour-long live trading session. Yeah, I think this is icing on the cake, guys. Nowhere in the masterclass does it say we're going to or anyone's going to get any live trading sessions. It works for some people.
If I ever start trading live, which I will not because it affects my mojo, my zone. If I ever start trading live, I will be charging like, I don't know, and nobody will be willing to pay that. So
$1,000 a week, guys. If you pay $1,000 a week, Stelios will live trade once a day. Even with smaller size, can we turn webinars into one live trade per week? I think it's really helpful to see the process of one live trade. I think the thing is if we're on a webinar and Stelios sees a trade and he's comfortable taking it, I think we just have to give him that if he takes the live trade while we're on the webinar, that's great. If we start a webinar at noon and Stelios has the pressure to take a trade over lunch, I don't think that's fair, right?
You take a trade when you see a trade, man. You don't trade. Exactly. You don't take a trade because people are watching.
Sure, exactly. Why didn't you take a partial? He says, I assume that you were talking about on that first flush there. He had a target, right? The target on this trade is VWAP. He found a whole $1.98 above VWAP and said,
I didn't take a partial because I saw SPY dropping with volume fast. And there was no point taking a partial because FSLY the probabilities to hit my target, which is the VWAP, were increased after I saw SPY dropping. So there's no point taking a partial when you expect a bigger move.
You just watched the average US monthly salary get made in the last 16 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with the masterclass? Roman asked. That's the deepest, darkest secret. I think he's answered this before. He's taken other educational courses and they were all confusing and he wanted to make something very simple. You see A, B, C, you do D.
Mm-hmm.
Something that made sense to people rather than...
That's what I was looking for when I started. I was looking for somebody to tell me, when you see this, do that, and when you see this, do that, and don't do that. So that's what I tried to create. Strategies that tell you, take these signals only when you see this, exit here, your target is here, stop is here. That's it. Rules. Give me rules. That's what I like.
Yeah, definitely. Stelios, what do you think allowed you to master the strategy so we can mirror it? It seems like you are one of the few in the masterclass to consistently profit each day.
What's the question again?
So Legacy asked, and he tagged you at Stelios. So he said, what do you think allowed you to master the strategy so we can mirror, like, I guess, your progress? It seems like you are one of the few in the masterclass to consistently profit each day.
It's just flying hours. I mean, if you want to be a great pilot, fly your damn plane.
Yeah, it's true.
I've been doing this for, 13 years now. You come to a point when you anticipate, you can predict things. You see things before they happen. And you take action. So don't forget that I'm not always right. For example, FSLY now, okay, it was a winning trade. I made $4,500, but it came like 8 cents before hitting my stop. So it could easily take me out. And I would have a losing trade. It doesn't always work out. Yeah, most of the days I'm green.
Solo Dolo says, how are you determining your target? Well, the trade that Stelios took was the SL3, and the target's laid out in the masterclass, right? We're looking to get back to VWAP. Stelios talked about, well, $98 is in front of VWAP, and that's a whole dollar. So he took some off in front of the whole dollar, which was just in front of VWAP, just in case we bounced off that whole dollar.
Now I want you everybody to type in the general chat that Stelios is trading live.
Making lobster money here on this paper trade.
Sushi money.
Sushi money. Ready to profit. Okay, so I'm at the point right now where you're exiting the trade and everybody's saying, yeehaw, nice, thank you. A lot of people want live every day. It's not going to happen. Thank you for the live trades. Awesome, awesome.
Who's that?
They're saying, I lost patience just watching Stelios trade that. What an eye opener.
No. Check the general chat. Somebody said Stelios is trading live, and somebody else.
Way.
Who's that?
No way.
Yeah, they know me by stock club, not Stelios.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, I guess so in the general chat, right? Yeah.
Hey man, do you want to keep this webinar till tomorrow? I mean, it's fine by me, but I will leave.
I almost got to the bottom of the questions. I think we're done. Do you recommend to follow your alerts? Hard to find. Da, da, da. I mean, you can watch the alerts, you can follow the alerts, but try to become an independent trader too. That's why you purchased the course, right? We learn something new every day in the masterclass. Great. Well done. Thanks. Everybody appreciated your live trade, Stelios. That's awesome. Everybody wants live trading once a week. Like we said, if we're on the webinar and Stelios finds a trade, I'm sure he will be glad to share the screen and trade it live. But we're not going to pressure him into taking
Don't
a trade.
expect me to trade live on webinar.
Absolutely. Okay, that's it for me. Are you good, Stelios? We'll wrap this one up. I think it was sick.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Hope everyone was green. If you weren't green, I hope you followed your rules. Take care, guys.